Hello, my name is Edward Brown of the Courage, Image, and Charisma Institute. And today I want to talk about, are charismatic leaders always charismatic in all situations? And this question came to my mind, and I'm going to pose it to you now, because I read an article some months ago that the basketball player Charles Barkley had made a comment about Michael Jordan's inability to move the Bobcats basketball team that Jordan now owns to a higher level. And Barkley said it was because Jordan had around him yes men, people who were not telling him what he needed to hear or pushing the envelope because of Michael Jordan's charismatic personality and unwillingness to bend or change based on a suggestion or vision that he may have for the team. And then recently I read online Michael Jordan's former basketball teammate of the Chicago Bulls and recently fired coach Sam Vincent had made a comment that Michael Jordan, I'm paraphrasing, Michael Jordan's ability to rise his game is not the same in a corporate structure as it was when he played basketball. Invariably, the drive, the zeal to win as a basketball player is not necessarily the same as Vincent suggests when he looks at Michael's style in the role as an owner of a basketball team. And so I asked myself, well, interesting. Does that mean that Michael Jordan is less charismatic? Is he less viable? Does he have less vision than he had for the Chicago Bulls when he played as a basketball player compared to as a Bobcat owner? And Vincent goes on to say that he doesn't even think he cares. Mike cares about being an excellent or stellar CEO or owner of a company. Thought about it. It goes back to that passion, goes back to that zeal, that zest, that desire to be the very best. Call it edge, call it swagger, call it whatever it takes, call it relentlessness. But invariably, no. Charismatic leaders are not always charismatic in every situation, particularly if they're judged by their past performance. And if you look at history, that anytime the charismatic leader was a part of an organization, a mission, or crusade, it almost took killing the person or the person dying out or whatever to get them off that path. And that's the downside of being a charismatic leader, that they don't have a good succession plan for the next person to take over. Because they say, this is mine, I built it, my personality is on it, I don't want to leave, and you're not going to make me. So I think the same holds true for charismatic leadership when it comes to Michael Jordan. When he was with the Bulls, his whole thing was winning, he loved the game. His personality was all over the Bulls. He transformed the game like no one has ever done, probably in the history of the game itself. But when it came down to could he transfer those skills over to be an owner of the Bobcats basketball team, no. One, those skill sets that he could have done, he wasn't interested in doing. And the passion for building organization to that extent doesn't necessarily mean that you can do it just because you did it on a basketball court. I think LL Cool J said it best. He said, when he turned down, reportedly, the president of Def Jam, being president of Def Jam Records, and Jay-Z took it over at that point in time, he said that just because you make a good cake does not necessarily mean that you can be a good bakery, or that you can run a bakery or run an operation of a bakery. And so I believe that it's true to form that just because you are a great basketball player does not mean that you can run a great basketball organization. Just because you're a charismatic leader on a court or you transform a basketball concept doesn't necessarily mean you can actually run a basketball organization. And that's key for you to know, that if you find yourself in a role that you thrived once upon a time and people thought you were the greatest thing that ever came, oh my God, don't leave us, what are we going to do when you leave? And then now you go to an organization and you don't have the same impact. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're not charismatic as a whole. It means that your desire, your limitations, or the environment doesn't allow you to excel at the level that the prior environment allowed. If you want to be more charismatic, persuasive, and influential, there's a link below that you can tap into, sign up for, and get updates on how to be more charismatic, influential, and persuasive. And we will keep you abreast of our latest developments on our end.